forget where you're coming from. King Shanga set the trend. Yo, I want them. Mama telling you this. Hey, drop. On a better have some respect and manners. See the Asian them and give them honors.
Respect and manners.
Yes,
Nothing wrong with
they
that.
always say, two little simple thing can carry you through the world. Respect and manners, that's all I'm asking from you. Respect and manners, then love will come to you. Respect and manners, that's all I'm asking from you. Respect and manners.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. Guys, I just wanted to come on here and update you guys with what's been going on with the Border Force Agency. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know the experiences that I went through. My most recent video that explained that I was going to be putting in a complaint. Now I have put in a complaint to the Border Force Agency, and I have recently received a letter from them. Okay, so they responded to my complaint, and I wanted to share with you guys what their response to my complaint is. So I'm just going to read the letter as it is, okay? And then we'll kind of go through some of the points after that. Now, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, if this is your first time here, then I'm going to link the video in the description below for you to have a look at. So I was very recently stopped at Heathrow Airport, and just traumatized basically. I had a really bad experience with the Border Force agents, but everything is in the video below. So if you're interested in having a look at that, then it's there for you to see, okay? So I made my complaint. What I will say is they got back to me very quickly in record time, because they say it usually takes about 20 days. I received a response a lot quicker than the 20 days. So if I give them anything, I'll give them that, but that's about it, right? So I'm going to read the letter. You guys tell me what you think. Yeah, here goes. So it says, thank you for your correspondence regarding your experience at Heathrow Airport. I won't give the date. This has been passed to me as the officer responsible for handling your complaint, and I'm sorry in the delay. I'm sorry for the delay in replying. Before I respond to your specific concerns, I would like to assure you all complaints about Border Force and the services we provide are treated seriously and are used as an opportunity to improve services and ensure lessons are learned. Okay. Before I respond to your specific concerns, I read that bit. In line with our usual procedures, I asked the operational manager to assess the circumstances relating to the matter you have complained about. With this work now complete, I have based my response on their findings. The officer in charge of handling my complaint has spoken to the officers and agents involved in my experience, okay? So I assume that, or already I can tell that her response is going to be based off what they say. So it's kind of me against them type of thing. I'm sorry you had cause to complain. The operational manager at Terminal 3 has identified the team who dealt with you and received and reviewed the notebook entries of the Border Force officers and the higher officer. I do understand that you may have felt embarrassed when you were escorted and asked questions. It is not in the public interest to disclose why a passenger may be stopped or certain procedures undertaken, but I'd like to assure you that it is not our intention to make anyone feel uncomfortable or cause embarrassment. I acknowledge your suggestion of exercising discretion in such circumstances, but would like to explain that all passengers need to follow the same route to controls, whether in the presence of an officer or not. Because one of my complaints was that I felt that to have to walk through everybody with two Border Force agents by your side, you're already looked at, people are making their assumptions, you feel embarrassed, you feel uncomfortable, and also I wasn't happy that I was being asked questions while I was being escorted. Wait until I get to the designated area and then question me. So that was something that I also complained about. I have been advised that neither officer spoke to the dog handler and the dog handler approached you and the officers. It is normal for a dog handler to ask a passenger to place their bag on the floor. This is to ensure it can be properly searched and alleviates the need for the dog to raise itself if the bag is lowered. I can only apologise that you felt you were treated differently to the other passengers by the dog handler. However, there is insufficient additional evidence to support your concerns. This is an area that I also complained about, because I was definitely treated differently by the dog handler to the other passengers that went before me. I can only apologise for the initial misunderstanding regarding the sum of £1,000 that you were carrying, which I understand was subsequently clarified by the second officer. There are notices in the customs channels confirming that passengers are invited to repack their belongings following a search of baggage. Again, the leading officer in my search was questioning me why I didn't declare my money. I had £1,000 cash. She was saying, you know, anything £1,000 or over, you need to declare it, and you haven't. I had to correct her and say, no, it's anything £10,000 and over. And the second officer dealing with the matter then clarified and said, actually, she's right. You know, she's allowed to walk with £1,000. Also, yeah, once they dug my luggage up, they didn't pack it back. That was another complaint that I had. The officer admits to responding in the manner described when you were escorted to the exit of the channels, for which I can only apologize. Now, this was a big thing for me, because once I was free to go and escorted to the exit, the leading officer that just had an attitude with me from the start basically called me a liar. When I made a comment and said, well, you didn't find what you're looking for, she said, well, I don't like liars, implying that I was lying about the things that I was, the things that I'd said or what I had on me. And I just found that very distasteful. And so that was part of my complaint as well. I am unable to uphold your complaint. But I do understand that being asked to and agreeing to submit to a search of person would have been very difficult, and I'm sorry that you consider the experience has adversely affected your well-being. Every effort is made to undertake the procedures required as sensitively as possible, and your cooperation with the questions asked and the procedures employed was noted and appreciated. If you believe this complaint has not been dealt with in the right way, you may contact us at the email address above, and correspondence manager with no previous involvement in this case will review the process used to look into your complaint to ensure it was both appropriate and followed correctly. You must do this within 1 month of the date of this letter. So they've chosen not to uphold my complaint. I'm not surprised. Initially, when I read this letter, literally for about a minute or two, my response to myself was, okay, that's the end of that. They're not going to uphold the complaint. Literally for a minute or two, and then just like, Nadiza, no, we're not doing this. We're not letting them get away with this, okay? The thing is that this letter skirts over a lot of the issues that I raised in my complaint letter to them. What I really wanted to know was why. It wasn't even about the dog handler and the £1,000. These were other things that happened. But what I really wanted to know, and what I made very clear in my complaint letter, I wanted to know why I was stopped, number one. But most importantly, was why did I have to endure the level of search that I did? Why was I strip searched? Why was I strip searched naked when all the prior searches and prior measures and steps taken came back negative? And I made that very clear in my complaint letter. Why did they feel that it was necessary for them to do what they did to me, to take it there, to take it to that step, that extreme step? And as you can see from that letter, it wasn't answered. It wasn't answered. So I'm not happy with the response that I've got. I am going to be letting them know that I'm not happy and I do want somebody else to look at it. I am going to seek legal advice. I definitely am going to seek legal advice, and let's see what happens. But yeah, I'm not happy that they're unable to uphold my complaint. They didn't even answer my questions. They just skirted around the issues. So I am going to be making steps to, have this looked into again, and also, like the letter suggests, to have officers or to have a complaints manager or whichever manager or whichever person in authority to have a look at my case who was not a part of the case. So hopefully somebody with a more unbiased view, hopefully. I mean, they probably will stick together, right? But let's see. So I just wanted to update you guys real quick to let you know I've received a response. That was the response I received. And like I said, if you don't know what I'm talking about, have a look at the video in the description. Guys, thank you for always rocking with us. I love you guys so much. and I'm going to keep you updated, right? When I receive the next letter or any further correspondence, I'm going to keep you updated. Thanks so much for watching. Until the next time, let me say.